Lecture topic: Being suspicious of the Nafs.
الملفوظ of Hazrat Mawlana Shafi Thanvi rahmatullah alayhi, where he highlights the harms of being neglectful and unconcerned about the nafs. And he states that if a person has made his islah, he's now reached a point where he is able to suppress the nafs. He has suppressed it to a point where there's hardly any pressure from the nafs. Even such a person cannot afford to be unmindful of the nafs for any moment. Somebody who's reached that point, now after a lot of mujahada, a lot of striving, a lot of sacrifice, he's brought the nafs under control. That person also cannot afford to be unmindful and become lax, become casual about the nafs. So what about the person who has not yet even brought the nafs under control? The nafs is far more dangerous than shaitan also. The shaitan, his downfall also came because of the nafs. Because before Iblis became Iblis, there was no shaitan around. But the nafs was already there. And the nafs is what became his downfall. Gave in to the nafs and the pride that came as a result of the nafs that blew that pride into his head. So the nafs is even more dangerous than shaitan as well. And the nafs is within a person, keeps inciting him towards some wrong or the other. So this is the person who's made the mujahada and who has now reached that point where he has brought it under control. But this is like a snake that doesn't die. In winter it becomes stiff, it lies around like it is dead. But as soon as it gets some heat, it starts coming back to life. So likewise, the nafs might be brought under control, but as soon as some kind of situation comes up where the environment changes, some means of sin come around him, this is all heat that comes to the nafs again. So that snake which was lying apparently dead, this little heat comes and it starts slithering again, and before a person knows it, because he was unmindful, neglectful, the next thing is that the snake then bites him. And the poison of this nafs then starts affecting him. So there is no time that a person can become casual about the nafs. And the protection against the nafs is the abundant zikr of Allah Ta'ala. To the extent that the heart is alive with zikr, so the nafs, it attacks the weak heart. And if the heart is strengthened with the zikr of Allah Ta'ala, then this nafs doesn't have the chance to be able to overpower it. The strength of the heart is beyond it. So the zikr of Allah Ta'ala cannot be neglected. And that, well, this is now a preferable thing. It's a mustahab aspect. It's mustahab in one category, but it's fundamentally necessary in a different note. But without this, that strength is going to weaken. Without this, that energy and that spiritual fuel, that's not going to be available. So everything starts going into decline. So the nafs, the danger of the nafs, one is to be very conscious about this. Never allow that heat to come around. If there's some circumstances that come about, environment, etc., person should be very conscious about that and move away from such a situation, such environments, such circumstances that give heat to that nafs, and be forever conscious of Allah Ta'ala and increase the zikr in all such situations. Allah Ta'ala give us that.
Allah Allah kaisa pyara naam hai, aashiqon ka meena aur jaam hai.